Local and live. Covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState.
Well, a happy Friday to you. Dan DeDona here with the localnews1.org weekly report for Hagerstown, Chambersburg, Shippensburg, Fairfield, Smithsburg, Waynesboro, and all the communities that make up your local area. We're going to start off, as we always do, with 5 things to do this weekend, starting with in Waynesboro. They're gearing up for a patriotic bash at the quarter millennium in the making. Main Street Waynesboro Incorporated is hosting a rescheduled Borough Bash 2050 on Saturday, tomorrow, August 22nd, from 5:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. That'll be at Main Street Park along Route 16 in downtown Waynesboro. This will be a free event, family-friendly, features public reading of the Declaration of Independence, live music by Midlife Crisis, a hot dog eating contest. I haven't actually seen one of those in quite some time. That could be worth the price of admission. Anyway, a lot of other activities: face painting, Alka-Seltzer, rocket launches. I have to say I haven't seen a lot of those recently either. This should be a lot of fun. Community members of all ages invited to join the semi-quincentennial celebration. Next up, the 30th annual Crab Fest is going to be returning to Chambersburg this month to raise funds for local community initiatives. It'll be hosted by AmVets Post 224. It'll be a rain or shine summer tradition, and it will run from 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. Also Saturday, August 22nd, at the Post's Picnic Pavilions located at 750 Fifth Avenue. Ticket holders can enjoy all-you-can-eat hard-shell crabs, alternative land food options, local Gearhouse Brewing beer, alongside small games of chance and a benefit auction. So that should also be a lot of fun. Third up, there will be at Cold Springs Farm there will be a 2026 Singing in the Barn event Saturday, August 22nd, from 6:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. It's bring the community together kind of an event. It'll be taking place at 9433 McClanahan Road in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. Fourth item, and this one requires a little bit of an introduction. When George Washington watched a drastically outnumbered band of Maryland soldiers charge British forces in August of 1776, he reportedly lamented, "What brave fellows I must this day lose." It was an heroically sacrificial moment known as the Stand of the Maryland Line that saved the Continental Army from total destruction. To commemorate the 250th anniversary of the pivotal Battle of Brooklyn, at Fort Frederick State Park in Big Pool, Maryland, they're going to be hosting a special living history event. Also on Saturday, 22nd, from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Park staff and volunteers will offer military reenactment programs focusing on the Smallwoods Brigade, alongside a tabletop war game recreating the crucial Revolutionary War clash. And our fifth item, the Washington County Museum of the Fine Arts is going to be hosting a special garden night from 5 until 8 p.m. on Friday, August 21st. That'll be today. It'll be taking place in the museum's Rose Garden at 401 Museum Drive in Hagerstown. It's free. It's open to the public. It's celebrating local arts and culture with live performances by the Stable Shakers and the Sons of Pitches. Guests can explore the museum's galleries until 8 p.m. Sip wine, available for purchase from Stonehouse Urban Winery. And pack a picnic or enjoy pre-ordered picnic boxes from Gordon's Grocery. Well, those are the top 5. As usual, we have just a few other things that are taking place that didn't make the cut. The National Road Museum in Boonesboro is going to be hosting the Maryland Natural Resources Police History Day on August 22nd from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. It'll be featuring artifacts and kids' activities. Also, the Blue Ridge Summit Free Library is offering story time, teen nights, book club, and craft events through late August. including adult crafternoon soap making on August 26th. You can RSVP by emailing their MK story at fclspa.org. You can find all that in localnews1.org. And finally, State Representative for Pennsylvania, Chad Reichert, is going to be hosting a free scam prevention workshop with the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office on Friday, August 28th, coming up this week at 10 a.m. at Quincy Village, just outside of Waynesboro. Your residents can learn to spot AI-driven scams and protect their finances. So if you've been good at picking out scams from humans, AI is pretty clever, but there are still ways to recognize that you're being a scam. Okay, that takes care of 5 things to do. We're going to transition now into basically an awful lot of things that have been happening with respect to schools. Obviously, it's the end of August, so it must be back to school time. There are open houses and new plans in all of the local school districts. In the Chambersburg Area School District is started classes on August 19th. And there were some open houses and orientations beginning shortly after that. Just to everybody's, at least within Pennsylvania, there is a new bell-to-bell phone ban that expands to grades 9 through 12 this year. The Chambersburg School District has also launched a Stop Finder app so that those of you who are taking buses will be able to find out where your buses are actually going to be stopping. That was available for tracking student bus routes. There's a 15-minute change in. Oh, by the way, there's also a 15-minute change in afternoon bus arrival times that you should expect. In Waynesboro, the senior high hosted its free community night. That'll be tonight, August 21st, with games, team intros, a marching band, hot dogs starting at 5 p.m. And in Greencastle, Antrim, they have been holding open houses and orientations from August 12th through the 18th, and school started yesterday, Thursday, August 20th. Okay. In other news related to schools, the Washington County Public Schools reported that they made academic gains and recorded an AP pass rate and career growth over the past year. They reviewed 2025 and 2026 results in an August board work session. They got record AP scores, but unfortunately their state test scores were flat. So the board is going to meet at a future date on an updated virtual emergency learning plan, and we'll hear more about that as that evolves. United Way of Franklin County's Stuff the Bus school supply drive is going to be running through August with donation boxes across the county and at its Chambersburg office. These supplies are intended to help students in 5 local school districts get started in the year with plenty of supplies, so that they don't start the year with 1 foot off the side of the road. The sheriff, Franklin County Sheriff, went in and talked to the Franklin County Commissioners on August 19th about flock cameras. This has been getting a lot of attention recently, and frankly, some of it's somewhat overblown. There's quite a bit of, well, maybe possibly kind of sort of might kind of imaginations about what might happen out there. The truth is, some of those things are actually possible, but we shouldn't be thinking in terms of taking all the cameras down, because they do serve some very useful law enforcement purposes. When I was a Washington Township supervisor, we received a very good briefing from folks that put up traffic cameras like that. And the main thing was that it enabled our police department to know, based upon license plates affixed to vehicles that were owned by known criminals who were known to rummage about the local communities, that we had them in our community, and therefore they should be on the lookout, and they could identify the fact that there was a potential problem to local businesses, who could also take steps to see to it that they were protected. So there's a good side and a bad side to this. Representative Reichard had a telephone interview yesterday afternoon, and he made the point that we probably need to take some steps here to make sure that people are protected, that their Fourth Amendment rights are not violated. But we need to do that in a reasonable way. And he indicated that in Pennsylvania, and I'm sure this is probably true in Maryland as well, he indicated that there's a lot of ideas floating around out there. So hopefully they'll come up with some good ideas pretty soon on how to make sure that stuff gets reined in. Next item up, very immediately, as a matter of fact, Manning Media is acquiring the Verstandig Media radio stations. Actually, this station that I'm sitting here recording in this morning. That was a bit of a surprise this past Tuesday. Manning Media has got quite a few radio stations over in the Frederick and Southern Maryland area, so this extends them up this way. The purchase price was apparently $700,000, and the change of ownership could be effective as soon as October, depending upon how fast the Federal Communications Commission acts upon the change. This could be a good thing. Owner Fred Manning says no programming changes are planned, and other people over in Manning Media that I actually had an opportunity to talk to said that Mr. Manning is apparently very much like Mr. Verstandig in the sense that he doesn't want to see these radio stations get gobbled up by big national brands that don't pay any attention to what's going on locally. Much like local news. That's why we exist, is to focus on what's going on locally. So hopefully that'll work out very well. We'll see. Ryder Jet Center over at Hagerstown Airport is expanding their fuel capacity. They're refurbishing a 15,000-gallon county fuel tank, and they're doing that. Apparently, fuel prices have gone up quite a bit. As a private pilot, I can tell you fuel prices have gone up quite a bit. But the fact that they're taking steps to see to it that fuel is going to be available regardless of the price is important. So they're taking those steps. Just so everybody knows, Ryder Jet Center also hosts Hangar Fest. That'll be coming up on September 27th, and an Aviation Career Expo on November 6th. With over $200,000 in scholarships. We'll have more on that as it gets closer. In addition, let's see, a week or so ago, we reported that Hagerstown wanted to annex the Klein Farm, and they voted on. They were to vote on August 25th on annexing the farm. But they wanted to do that after they had completed talks with the county, who had some concerns about that, what was going to be the impact upon water and other things that the county was responsible for. Apparently those talks have stalled, so Hagerstown's Mayor Bill McIntyre indicated at their 18th of August City Council session that they really need to get those talks going again so that they can proceed and be sure that they take care of everybody's concerns. That's really a smart way to go. I mean, so many times people just blurt that kind of nonsense out there in public, and then people get all excited and upset for not necessarily any good reason. In Franklin County, they are expecting a $700,000 increase in funding availability in 2027 in their general revenue fund. That's a good thing because they're not raising taxes. So usually what that means is local businesses in the area are thriving, and as a result of that, they're bringing in more tax money. So $700,000 extra available at the county level, and they're also talking about putting $100,000 into a public safety program with the Career Tech. That will provide training for high schoolers for police, fire, and EMS jobs. And that sports program that was launched this past spring. So they're serious about seeing to it that we take care of shortfalls in those three public safety programs. Police, fire in Chambersburg are apparently going to be underfunded, at least at the moment, as the Chambersburg City Council takes a look at their budget for this coming year. They have a bit of a shortfall. They're concerned about that. They haven't given up on it. They're still going to take a look at how they properly fund police and fire. So more to that to follow, but it is a concern. Washington County's fire rescue and nonprofits are sharing $2.37 million in gaming funds, which have become available to the county. They distributed that to fire rescue and nonprofit groups. And in addition to that, they approved a $1.24 million fuel center and other capital projects at their 11th of August meeting. There's quite a bit more going on there. We had also mentioned in local news that they were looking at a golf training center. Several weeks ago, they've subsequently approved that. And in the meantime, they also took over 4 wells out at Fort Ritchie as part of the county's water system. Fort Ritchie's demand is increasing, so this is actually a good thing. That to the extent that Fort Ritchie might ever become their demand might exceed their local capacity, being tied into the Washington County system will make sure that they always have water available, even if it's not out of their individual wells. So that's a good move. The Hagerstown Rapid Response people who have been advocating against the ICE facility just north of Williamsport have released a study that indicates that homeowners within several miles of the facility could lose $22.3 million in combined value of their properties. There's a website out there, and there's an address, icejailtax.com. Nothing pejorative about that. But there's an address out there where you can pull down the data and you can take a look at it and you can see the rationale and you draw your own conclusions. The $744 million project, by the way, remains blocked by a federal court injunction. In Pennsylvania, women, infants, and children, or WIC families, are eligible to use $30 in farmers market vouchers now through November 30th for local produce, including that which is available at Tracy's Orchard in Greencastle. Seniors 60 plus get their $25 in checks through county aging offices. And also, if you are one of many people who were impacted by the July 28th flooding that took place in Waynesboro and in the surrounding area, Pima came to the area and interviewed a number of people on August 12th. What you should do is contact the local authorities in Waynesboro and in Washington Township and identify whether or not find out first of all whether or not you're eligible, and if you are, by all means, take advantage of the disaster relief that the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency is making available. In Maryland, just a heads up, no pun intended, low-flying aircraft will be flying, there'll be planes, helicopters, and drones will be taking to the air through October 10th as farmers aerial seed cover crops under the state's cover crop program. So if you see more low-level flying, that's probably the reason why you're seeing it. In addition, Washington County is flushing hydrants in the Highfield Water Systems Penmar area. They started doing that on August 19th. They may be getting very close to being completed right now. If you see discolored water coming out of your tap, you should run it for a while until the water is clear again. That'll take care of any discharge that's taken place by the testing. Okay. The northbound I-81 Welcome Center in Franklin County is going to be was closed for paving last night and also tonight. It's part of a $17.8 million ramp project with the next stop near Newville in Cumberland County. Franklin County Republicans and Franklin County Democrats are doing what you would expect them to be doing before the midterm elections. They're starting to mobilize their troops. They're organizing. They're providing training for people. In both cases, I can't urge people more strenuously. You need to take a good look at who the candidates are, and what those candidates and the parties that they are bringing to the table represent on your behalf. In a lot of cases, it's fairly clear. One side tends to, well, they're accused of a lot of things. Frankly, if it makes one wonder from time to time why those people haven't been struck down by lightning or pestilence or whatever. If all of the allegations that are made about them were actually true, they would have certainly passed away from this earth a long time ago. They don't call it the silly season for nothing. So what I would urge you to do is set a lot of that nonsense aside. You actually have to exercise some judgment. Judgment needs to be based upon finding some facts associated with these people. And you make a judgment and you vote your conscience, vote the way you think things ought to work out in the future. That's what you need to be doing. But don't pay attention to any of this silly nonsense. It's just intended to distract you. Okay, moving on to police news. A woman who was promised a restaurant job in the local area was subsequently forced into prostitution. Chambersburg man Adamael Garcia Vilches is charged with involuntary servitude after allegedly luring a woman from New York with a fake restaurant job and forcing her into prostitution. He and a co-defendant, Rafael Jimenez Martin, remain jailed with $200,000 bail each. Firefighters managed to free the hand of a gentleman who got it stuck in a meat tenderizer in a Chambersburg restaurant. That took place on Thursday afternoon, August 13th at 102 South Main Street. Firefighters freed the hand in under 7 minutes, and the person was taken to a trauma center. We have no further reports on how he's doing, but hopefully everything was just fine. In addition, firefighters in Washington Township responded to a fire on Harper's Drive near Waynesboro on August 15th. All occupants escaped the facility safety, and at this point in time, the cause of the fire is unknown. There was also an accident, a pedestrian-motorist collision several weeks ago, which Waynesboro police now say they will not be filing any charges. The gist of it is apparently that the victim's injuries were not life-threatening, and Main Street was briefly closed for only a short period of time. So that incident looks like it's probably just going to go away. It's an accident, apparently, just what you would expect. And Pennsylvania drivers are reminded to stop for school buses. In Pennsylvania, they have quite a few ways. They have flashing lights, they have red lights, they have yellow lights, they have a bar that comes out and block traffic. There are pretty stiff fines, up to $300 if you're caught on bus cameras, which can be turned into the police, and then you can be charged. So even if you had it in your mind to pass a school bus while children are getting on or off, don't do it, if only for the fine, but especially for the kids. A lot of those kids, they're kids, okay? So cut them some slack. In People News, Braden Cespedes made the Maryland All-State third team in soccer, I think it was, and Shepherd's Josh Crummett landed on a national watch list. In addition, Shepherd's soccer teams were picked 4th and 5th in PSAC preseason polls, so congratulations to all of you. In Waynesboro, Emily Nystrom is going to be taking over the Waynesboro Maidens volleyball team, at least on an interim basis. That, of course, comes on the heels of the sad news that Maidens long-term volleyball coach Kim Saunder passed away rather unexpectedly just before the 2026 season. Also at Waynesboro, Scott McClure is going to be taking over as the Indians' head football coach for 2026, and he's aiming to end a 4-year losing streak. The team opens its season August 28th at Greencastle. And final bit of People News, the Conococheague Institute is seeking board nominations through September 16th, with voting set for October 10th. at its annual members meeting during the harvest on the homestead event. They're looking for good people. They're a pretty good organization as it is, but having good leaders and having good people on the board that can help you out, know people, can offer you the benefit of their knowledge, that's worth its weight in gold. Okay, a few things on health. WellSpan's Health and Johns Hopkins Medicine have renewed their cancer care partnership, which has already helped over 1,300 WellSpan oncology patients and enrolled nearly 500 people in research trials. It's a very good program, and it's good that it's nice and local here. Meritus Health is reopening school-based health centers at Western Heights Middle and South Hagerstown High School. What they do is they offer free care regardless of insurance. Parents do have to complete an enrollment form, and you can check out the story in localnews1.org for contact information for that. The health department in Pennsylvania continues to urge people to please, if you have a tick that has attached itself to yourself or one of your children, please take steps to get it off immediately. Don't wait until you can make it to the doctor. The sooner you can get it off, the less chance that any transmittable disease that a tick can provide will not take root in your system. Measles, mumps, and rubella MMR vaccines are available at health department pharmacies and grocers in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has seen 226 measles cases, 30 hospitalized, mostly in Lancaster County. That's been prompting officials to push for MMR vaccines. So they're available. Please take advantage of them if that suits your purposes. And pediatric providers are going to be report that summer illnesses are continuing as school season nears. It's a bit of a problem because you take all these kids that have managed to gather up things wherever they've been playing and vacationing over the summer, and now they're coming to school, gathering together in groups, so they usually see some spikes in different kinds of diseases. Their main recommendation for everybody is make sure your kids wash their hands, clean up after themselves. Two small other events to take place. Jay Leno is going to be performing at the Maryland Theater in September. He has a stand-up act. It'll be in Hagerstown on September 25th at 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale, so you can look ahead to getting your tickets for that. Especially if you're a big Jay Leno fan. He's a pretty good comedian. Certainly ran the Tonight Show very well for a number of years. And last but not least, Totem Pole Playhouse is announcing its 2027 season. That'll be opening next May with Steel Magnolias running through holiday, and they'll be running through some shows here in December. Tickets and subscription details are will be announced later this fall. In addition to all these kind of things, you can see some excerpts from Gruber's Almanac, local histories every Tuesday, the writings of Dargan Boy on Thursdays. We have theater reviews, we have Pets of the Week, crossword puzzles. There's an awful lot in local news than just the stories we're able to cover here. We have to cut an awful lot out. We're soon going to be adding deed transfers along with an inquiry capability, and as the database builds up, you'll be able to look as far back into the past as you want to see who's been transferring deeds on different kinds of properties among themselves. We are very proud to be the news source for Verstandig Media. You can see all the local news in localnews1.org. That's all local. We don't do national, and although we are online, we are not social media. We're a real live we're like a newspaper without the paper. And with that, I'm going to leave you with the thought of the day. Just in time for this new school year, a new policy that rubber band pistols will be confiscated from algebra classes because they represent weapons of math destruction. Bada bing. Have a great week. Take care.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.